how the heck do you get Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton elected president?
How do you do it? It's not as difficult as you think. The problem is that the Democratic Party has not taken the time to lay the groundwork to get it done. They keep thinking that they can simply make themselves appear more rational than the other side, and that's going to get it done. And so, in a couple of videos back, when I was responding as I was walking to an individual who just his analysis about why the Democrats lost to a 34-time felon, it was lacking because people in our country fail to see, they fail to take into account what has gone into the creation of current Americans, and they are full of misogyny and patriarchy, and they are full of supremacy. You're not going to overcome that with some glitz and glam and some celebrity endorsements and saying, "Hey, the other guy is the guy on the other side is a 34-time felon." They feel more comfortable with the felon than they do with a black person, let alone a woman. The way you're going to do it is that you're going to cause a re-education of America on very specific areas such as men, women, relationship, and roles. And you're going to do it through the churches. That country that shall not be named on this app, because you just automatically receive a CGV. They did it with Christianity. They took Christians who believed their religious classification were the unalivers of Christ, and they turned them into Zionists. Full stop. Just unquestionably. You will get many evangelicals and Christians. They will stare at genocide in the face and say, yeah, but those people must have done something to deserve it. And with the slightest bit of provocation, justification, they'll overlook it. Same way they overlook what happens to black and brown people. You just have to program them. So if Democrats want democracy and leftists want this ideal utopia, you got to go after the religions. And you're not trying to go head first against them. You fold in your ideologies into them. Give enough of money, the preachers will fold in your talking points into their sermons. That's how it works. I don't understand. One of the smartest things that I've started to see some politicians realize is that when you must ABC, you must always be campaigning. That means your groundwork for, say, for instance, if a third party candidate wants to win, they should have already gotten started on winning the next election as president. But yet we see no one. Like Jill Stein is not trying to run until it's a couple months before the election, when she's supposed to split the Democratic vote reliably, right? But if a third party person wants to run, they're going to have to be willing to consistently wage a battle. 10, 15, 20 years, they're going to have to be willing to lay their groundwork for their candidates to start winning those races. If they're not willing to lay the groundwork for their candidates to start winning, don't take them seriously and stop voting for them. Okay? Same thing goes for female candidates and female candidates of color, or even a future trans candidate, a Latinx, Asian American, South Asian, all that stuff. You got to lay the groundwork now. And then you can't do what Vivek did, was start trying to sidle up to conservatives and Christians right up next to an election. You better be doing that mess for years. That's why a politician who wants to win by the time they're 60, who's in one of these uphill battles, you should be starting now in your 20s. Lay the groundwork. People should know who you are. Trump took his whole life being a degenerate, an outsider, someone who lied continually, and he got people habituated to that, unquestionably. And of course, the lack of melanation and his gender helped. He did not try to do the uphill battle. He just gave people what they were used to. Old dirty grandpa who they don't take seriously, who's yapping in the corner, full of bigotry, homophobia, xenophobia. They're used to that. And so you are going to have to figure out how to take a candidate who flies in the face of what people have been conditioned, brainwashed, and to come into agreement with and vote for. And you're going to have to make them see how that candidate is the candidate that they not that they should be comfortable with, but they really are. In the end, you really are comfortable with them. Because if you don't, because that's what's so successful about what Zionists have done and people of the country who cannot be named, they have been diligent in plotting a path forward to where they control. Not in that weird sense that people think, oh, there's a global conspiracy. No, you just have a lot of very dedicated individuals who are in one accord, trying to achieve a series of specific things. And they're not doing an infighting thing. They all know what's up. And they're all fighting for it, each in their own way, state and local level, federal level, national, etc., in countries all around the world. Okay? Successfully. And until you start doing that, until Democrats get on that same one accord and they've got their 40-year, 50-year, 60-year strategy, failure every time.